It's very serious what took place at the border on November 25th at 6 o'clock. We just said it would be routine, hand in your passports as you cross the border, and we were heading to the talk at the Vancouver Public Library. And once they had our passports, they told us to pull over. We had to go into the facility, and it was there that they started to ask me this series of questions. First they said, we want your notes on your speech tonight, which I was shocked by. I picked up the book, and I brought it inside, and I handed it to the guard and said, I'll be reading columns from the book, and he said, I want your notes. I feel like it was just a breach of solid democratic principles of freedom of the press, and also the public's right to know. Because when the state does that, monitors, surveils, harasses journalists, then it creates a chilling effect. Other journalists become afraid to cross the border, perhaps, do an investigation that the same might happen to them. And that's everyone's loss, because in order to make solid decisions about key issues of the day, people need information. And so much of that information comes from the press. He said, what else are you going to be talking about? So I said, well, the whole health care reform debate in the United States, what else are you going to be talking about? Oh, global warming. What else are you going to be talking about? The global economic meltdown. What else are you going to be talking about? The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. What else are you going to be talking about? I said, well, that pretty much does it. And he said, are you going to be talking about the Olympics? And I said, I don't live here. I did not exactly know what he was referring to. I thought he was talking about, and I said, do you mean when President Obama went to Copenhagen to push for the Olympics to come to Chicago? And he said, no, you didn't even get them, the Olympics. And so I said, I know. And he said, I'm talking about the Olympics here in 2010. And I said, I didn't want to insult him, but I said, no, I wasn't planning to talk about your Olympics. And he said, you're saying you're not talking about the Olympics? He clearly didn't believe me. Do you all just constantly talk about the Olympics?
They're clearly extremely concerned about having a picture-perfect Olympic experience. And, they're not, I guess, the government is intent on obliterating any kind of opposition or criticism. And this is also evident in their shocking ordinance against posting of anti-Olympic signs in your own windows. I mean, that's not the Canada that I've kind of grown up to know.
And what can Canadians learn from this incident?
Well, I just think that there are a number of people that are criticizing the Olympics, how it's conducted, the public subsidies, the corporate welfare, and that it's important to support media outlets like the B Channel, places where you can get alternative information and where you can voice dissenting viewpoints, and that's the most important take-home message. Obviously, to be vigilant. There will be, I'm sure, sweeps, arrests, harassments, intimidation.
Independent media is under siege and on the move. It is building every which way, and that's so important. We've been practicing nonprofit journalism for years, almost 14 years at Democracy Now! And we work with community radio, college radio, public access TV, public television, public radio stations all over the world. And I think that really is the hope, that there is a growing movement, a growing media democracy movement as well, to protect the media, to challenge the consolidation of the media, whether it's in Canada or whether it's in the United States, and to fight for people to get access to information, to keep the internet open and free, to keep it from being controlled by telecommunications companies, by cable companies.